hoping that I'm live. Let's make sure I'm live. Hey guys, how are you today? It looks like I'm live. Yay! So I have to tell you, I don't have any idea what was going on with the technology today, but it was going crazy. And because I'm going to be showing you all kinds of props, I'm in a completely different setup in a different location because I really want to show you a lot of the things that I bring with me when I do a health fair or a trade show. Because here's the cool thing. I'm doing one tomorrow. So I'm actually putting together my box or my package or whatever you want to call it so that I'm ready. And I want to share with you what some of those things are so that you guys can be prepared too. Now, if you don't know it, I already do have a checklist that you are absolutely able to download. It's a free resource. It's bit.ly/Julia Trade Show Checklist. So it's a long name, bit.ly, is usually short, but I wanted you to be able to find it. So there you go. But it's a great little checklist. I've put in there things that I've tried to remember over the years to bring, because there's certain things that you go to a trade show and you think you need and you don't need, or you really wish you had. And I ran into that early on. It's kind of a weird thing. It's like going on vacation and in another country, you want to make sure that you bring everything, including the plug adapter so that you're set. So let me show you a couple of the things. Now, behind me, I have my case and my kit, but let me show you the first two things first. I'm going to stand up, so I know it's going to be a little challenging to see me. But the first thing I've got is a portable stool and a portable table. Now you can't really see the table, so I'm actually going to have to put a picture of the table into, let me see if I can tilt this down. It's a collapsible table. It's this wide. It's not any wider than the back here. Like, I don't know, like 28 inches, 30 inches wide. And then it has an adjustable height, so I can raise it or lower it. And the reason I like to put that in my car along with a little stool in the back of my car is because you have no idea what's going to happen when you get to where you're going. Where I'm going tomorrow, I know that they have a table for me, but I'm guessing it's probably a large table. And I'm going to explain in a minute that I'd rather have a little table, but give me just a second. So right here, this is an old suitcase that I picked up at a yard sale, because y'all know I like to yard sale. Got my name tag packs. Remember, I always put my name tags in. All my name tags go into the box as well. But this is a suitcase, and it's the swivel kind. It has the portable arm up and down in the back. It's really easy to maneuver. It has a lot of pockets. And the reason I particularly like this one is because the inside here has all kinds of great pockets. So I have extra space for packs of brochures. Now, I am not just bringing my imprinted brochures. I'm also bringing some blanks so that the people that are there who are maybe part of my team, maybe they need some brochures as well. So I'm bringing extra packs of blanks. I think that's really important. I'm also bringing my business cards. They're two-sided. I have the yellow on one side, the black on the other. I'm going to bring some of my swag. So I have my Euphoria stickers. I am also bringing my marketing business cards, because sometimes I'll meet somebody. It's pretty rare anymore, but sometimes. This also has spots for business cards, pens. I like to fill that up, and then another pocket here. So it might be a little challenging to see because it's dark, but I just want to point out to you really that this to me is really important because it's a suitcase. So I used to carry like a big crate or a briefcase or something like that. But what I really learned over time is that a suitcase is just like designed for trade show use. It's perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna drop this down and open it up, and I want to show you some of the cool stuff that I have inside in preparation for this. Okay. Very heavy on the top part here, I guess. Okay. The top part has a zipper. The top part has a zipper opening where I can put in other things too. So what I have to show you, a large packet of the FAQ booklets. Now, I showed you the other brochures. Those are brochures that you're going to give out a lot, right? Those are ones that you're going to give out to everybody. These are for people that are a little more specialized, a little maybe a closer to your mark, maybe somebody you're really thinking this is going to be the right fit. Well, they are more expensive. If it's the right client or the right possibility, this is going to be a really great tool to give to them. I'm going to come to that in a second too. So I like to bring a lot of those. I also have my table runner, and in the bottom of my suitcase, I have my tablecloth. So I have a black tablecloth. It's actually specifically made for trade show tables. It'll either do a 6-foot or an 8-foot table. And of course, like I said, I have this little tiny table, which I'm probably going to use, but I can just fold the tablecloth and then I can drop my table runner over it. My preference is to have a table runner that does not have my contact information on it. So this guy actually has the logo, but it doesn't have my contact information, although I do have one like that. I think that in this environment, it might be too busy. So that's why I've chosen that one. All right. I also have printed copies, and I have 2 printed copies of my own personal DNA report. I also will have my husband's DNA report as a comparison. This printed copy allows me to show them not only the SNPs, but it shows them the material that we provide. So what I'm showing you is that I have 4 levels of print material for 4 different types of interactions. I have a business card. Everybody could get that. Anybody could get that, whether they're interested or not. I could even drop that in a fishbowl for a drawing. Number 2, I have brochures. I have brochures that I can pass and brochures that I can give to new business partners so that they have material if they need it for their events or if they need it tomorrow. Number 3, I have the FAQ booklets, much more in depth, really easy to crack open, start going through some of the actionable genes that we could talk about. And number 4, the actual one piece of the product that we have here, which is the DNA report. Now, you might not be a Euphoria consultant, you might not be a nutritionist, and you might be thinking, well, how does this apply to me? Because I still want you to remember that you need different levels of marketing materials, because you're going to have different groups of people that you're going to want to talk to. So you really want to be prepared. Now, I'm going to put something into this conversation. I just want you to think about this as a little tip. A lot of times at these events, health shows and vendor shows and things like that, the people that you really want to connect with are the vendor organizer, the other attendees, and the other vendors, even more so than the attendees themselves, right? So I would highly recommend having packets made up for those different levels of people, or just know this is for this kind of person, this is for that, that kind of thing. So you want to have like different ranges of packets. And normally what I like to do is a cellophane bag. It's crinkly, it's noisy, put some things into it, just make sure that people know that we have ways to keep in touch. That's a really great thing to give to people, so bear that in mind. Okay, let me show you a couple more things. I'm going to bring some of the actual live kits that we can sell tomorrow, because that's going to be a really big deal. One of these I can crack open and show and use as a demo. I can actually show them how it works. So I want to have those on hand. I've got my magic brochure stand with business card holder in the front. I talk about this all the time. And I have a rack of other business cards because there might be some other people there from my team, and I want them to be able to put their cards out. I also have this Mondo big mega stand. Okay. I love this. So this is where I can put those materials that I just showed you that are larger than a brochure. And I can place my beautiful National Geographic support materials. So whether you're with Euphoria or not, you're always wanting to look for ways to display and put things out. Now, I do want to point something out to you. I may as well do it right now. Although these are brochure racks and stands and things like this, I highly recommend that you do not have a neat and tidy booth space. Even if you have some of these things up, you definitely want to have a little bit of a messy area. And I know you're thinking, no, I want this to look good and organized and beautiful. But here's the deal. People actually will not take a card out of a brochure rack as easily as if it's laying messy on top of the tabletop. So if you have some stuff scattered across the top, you really want to jig-jaggedy, make it kind of crazy, people are probably more likely to pick those things up than out of a brochure rack. It's kind of funny. It's kind of one of those things. All right. What's this, guys? If you haven't seen it yet, this is a 5-foot tall inflatable DNA strand. I needed something that would draw attention from across the room, more so even than like music or sound or a big banner. An inflatable. This is so funny. I can't wait to blow this up tomorrow. It kind of looks like a pool toy, but with no middle. It's just the outside edges. It's so funny. I have two, count them, two 3-dimensional DNA lamps. If you haven't seen these, Rhonda and I were looking at these, and if you haven't seen these yet, these are so funny. So I can show you what those look like, but those are going to grab attention from, you know, people. Oh, what is that? So that should be really cool. And the last thing in here, of course, is my black tablecloth. Okay, so all of this stuff gets packed back up, goes back in here, easy to maneuver. That's really cool. Now, there's a couple of things that you're going to want to make absolutely sure that you have on hand that are not in the suitcase that I just packed. You're going to want to have a water bottle. I highly recommend writing your name on it in a Sharpie, putting a sticker on it, having a water bottle, having it filled. You don't know, there might not be water at the location. There might be a water fountain or something like that, and you might be kind of stuck. So you definitely want water. You want hand sanitizer, gum, mints, things like that, breath freshener. And one of the things that I've learned, and I probably have mentioned this every time I've done one of these, is that you absolutely should absolutely have a change of shoes. And I don't care if you go from flip-flop to flip-flop or whatever it is, but the different height of the heel and the different compression in the shoe and things like that is really going to make a difference. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll do all of the setup in a tennis shoe, and then I'll switch to a different shoe. And then at the end of the show, I'll switch back to the tennis shoe. And it's because you're standing so much, which again is why I also recommend the little stool. So a lot of times when you go to these trade shows, they give you a folding chair. If you're sitting in the folding chair, you don't look as ready for action and ready for doing business as you are if you're on a little perch. So this is a kind of tall little stool, but it's like a perch so that I'm a little more elevated. And they do, I think it's IKEA has some of these little very tiny, like narrow, but tall little chairs that you can kind of lean on, and they're excellent. Just the idea is that you never want to look seated behind the table. You really want to be in front of the table. You really want to be standing. You really want to be talking. You really want to be engaging, if at all possible. It's not always possible. And a little stool like this sometimes makes it easy, because I could have my table set up right here and I could just be perched, and when people come, I could just pop right up. I'm not sitting deep into a chair. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Some other things you're going to want, definitely some either packing tape or duct tape in case you need to tape down cords or edges of carpet, things like that. You don't want people to trip or anything like that. I also highly recommend things like this. These are little tabletop easels, and I think you can get them from places like Staples. They just pop out. You could lean a brochure into these. These are really great. Another thing that is really a lot of fun when you do a trade show is to have a theme. So a couple themes that I like, because I live in Maryland, I like to do Maryland crabs. So I like to do paper that covers the table. It looks like little crabs stamped all over it. I like to do, for my prize, I think my drawing prize will probably be a cruise. Not a cruise, excuse me. Cancun, a trip to Cancun. So I would like to have like Hawaiian leis or stuff that looks tropical scattered around the drawing prize. For more stuff to set up, I'll show you the rest. I have a giant fish bowl. It's hard to tell. This is a business card rack, which I don't need, but actually I do need it. Let me explain why. So I'm going to have this big giant brandy snifter fish bowl. This is a different looking holder, and that's where I can put little pieces of paper. If people don't have a business card, they can drop their information in to win. I can also hang right on the front of this my short code. So I can do my short code for tomorrow, which would be specifically about the event, so people will opt in. Now, I'm also going to do a display of our product. Now, our product has three different variations, which makes it awesome. There's the actual box, there's our canister, and then there's what I showed you earlier, which is our product, which is our home DNA kit. So we have three different products. So I actually have an enormous grocery bag, like a lot of samples of this. And I think tomorrow we're going to do something really special. So these, of course, have my name on them. You can see right there, it has my name. And then I have my husband's name. And I was actually thinking of doing ones where it had, you know, your name here. Because remember, it's everybody gets their own product. So I want to draw attention to the uniqueness there. So I'll do a little display. Now, mind you, I have shown you from end to end. This is actually the entire width. I'm just kind of showing you here. This is the end. That's the entire width of the table. I really, even if I don't have a lot of stuff on the table, that's okay. And the reason that is because I have 3 very large pop-up banners. Now, I love these pop-up banners, and I'm going to tell you why. I have used the retractable kinds, but I love these. They come in a nice carry case that I can hang over my shoulder. It's not too terribly heavy. In fact, when I store these at home, the reason they look like this is because I actually hang them on a hook here at the house. But I do that because it makes it a lot easier. So I can carry all 3 of these, wheel my bag. I'm in good shape, right? But these are going to take up more room where a table would be. So instead of having a giant table, I'd rather have the banners, which have great material. So that was kind of the idea there. I also want to bring a trash bag because you never know, at the end of the day, there might be some trash. And things like scissors and tape, water, gum, all that stuff that I've mentioned before are on that trade show checklist. So don't worry, you know, it's all listed there as well as the other stuff. But for the grand finale, I want to show you guys something really cool, which is what I have for you here. And it's the unboxing. Dun, da, da, da. Dun, da, da, da. I have a new marketing material that I am so excited about. So I had to share this with you guys. So I have not opened it. I received this and I said, oh, I want to show everybody. Now, the way I'm opening it, I'm being very, very strategic also because see how big this box is? It's ginormous. It's almost as big as the table, actually. This is as big as the whole tabletop. That's too funny. But I want to use this for repackaging if possible. Oh, and it looks like it's going to be possible for this new item that I got, which I'm so excited about. So when I go to these health fairs, I want it to be known that I am actually offering product for sale. It is totally fine. Oh, there's no back stand, so it's a good thing I have those little easels I showed you guys. But look at this. See this guy right here? I can lean it. I can stand it on my little easel if I want to, like this. See, I've got my little pop-out easel here. Look at this guy. And it's just going to sit up on the tabletop. It's a sample of the DNA report, as you can see here, and it says today only, special offer. So I thought this would be absolutely awesome to have on our tables so that when we're at these health events, we're actually promoting that we have DNA reports, or that DNA kits that they can take advantage of on the spot. So whether you're a nutritionist or not, these are some really great tips. You want to make sure that you have things so that you can have people take action right on the spot, right? That's the whole point. We want them to take action. All right, you guys, I am so glad to be here with you all tonight. If this has been helpful, please let me know. If you have any more questions, please let me know. You can always text BEGIN to 26786 to learn a little bit more about all of this. Or you can reach out to me directly to find out what it is that we do or how we're doing it. This is an exploding opportunity, and all of these great health fairs and trade shows and things like that are just so much fun. I mean, this is really awesome stuff. If you'd like to see more of the cool things that can go at your trade show table, like the squeezy DNA balls, I think we have, and I think we have a Halloween costume cape, which is really funny. And these things that are actually dog chew toys, but they're like this big and they look like DNA strands, colorful DNA strands that can bounce on your table, things like that. This is going to be so much fun. Oh, the other thing that we bring are things from the Euphoria gear store, like little buttons and beautiful pens and notebooks and things like that. So you're going to want to make sure you tuck some of that stuff into your kit too. I hope you guys have been having fun. I know I have. I absolutely love trade shows. This is so cool for me. I can't wait to send you guys pictures and show you what everything looks like tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's an open house. And if you're in Maryland, if you're in the Eldersburg, Carroll County area and you'd like to join me, let me know. I'd love to tell you where we're going to be tomorrow. Thanks you guys so much and have a really awesome evening.